Here you can see I'm doing a close-up section of part of the nose, just to demonstrate one, the wet on wet technique, and two, how to get a really smooth edge, particularly around the nostril hole. Here you can see I'm blocking in some of the main colours. I'm using quite a liberal amount of paint on my paintbrush, and you can also see how I'm mixing the colours in the palette, so you can see the quantity of black to white that I'm using as I'm mixing. If you missed it the first time, rewind it and replay. On this part of the painting you're going to see that I'm going to turn the paper around, and that's so that I can try and get a nice neat edge around my nostril. I'm turning it so that I can pull the paint towards me. It's a much more comfortable way of painting, and it's a much easier way to control the paint. You'll also notice I'm holding the brush very close to the bristles at this point. This means I've got more control of the brush as I'm painting around. When you get more confident, you don't necessarily have to pull quite so much, and you can do it on the angle. But when you're starting out, I'd always say pull towards you. Here you can see I've got three main tones in, as well as the black of the nostril. You've got the lightest tone, which is the outer area, a part of the face. Then there's a very thin dark area that's very dark grey, or you could also do this with black. And then that's making the edge of the nostril. And then on the inside flat of the nostril, you've got the sort of dark grey going on. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to blend those tones together so they're not looking quite so stripy. At the moment I'm just defining that black a little bit more, but I'll be blending it back again, as you can see as I'm doing it now, by just pushing the brushwards, backwards and forwards, curving it round, so I'm following the form of the nostril, and it allows you to blend those tones. Notice that the paint is staying wet at this time. Acrylic does dry quickly, so if it does dry out on you, you are going to have to reapply the paint when you're doing the wet on wet technique. Here you can see I'm blocking in some more of the tones. I'm not being really neat about it at the moment. I'm keeping it in the main area it needs to be in. But then you can see here I'm just working back over the paintbrush, and I'm blending the two colours that are next to each other together, so there's a gradual change in tone. Again, the paint is wet on both tones that I'm using, so you need to ensure that you do this for the wet on wet technique.